Good evening once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Tonight's date is September 27th, 2023. It is Wednesday. I'm waiting for folks to slide on into the room, to the show. Come on in. When you get in, go ahead and say hello. It has been 10 days since my last show. 10 days. And boy, we got some news to talk to you about. Tonight's coffee is chocolate-covered strawberries from Dunkin' Donuts brand. Good evening, Laurel. Welcome to the show. How is the volume levels, Miss Laurel? One, two, 1, 2. They should be fine. They should be fine. She says, sounds good. Fantastic. Come on, now we get to get the rest in here. Get the rest in here so we can get the show rolling. Let's see if we get some time killers. Yeah. Watching some YouTube videos after dinner. Lo and behold, an advertisement for Fort Ticonderoga in upstate New York comes on. It's like, I didn't search for Fort Ticonderoga. I haven't looked at the map for Fort Ticonderoga. I know all about Fort Ticonderoga. What it is the other day, I was talking to the missus about Fort Ticonderoga in our living room. That was it. Nothing. No searches, no nothing. And boom, there you go. So like I warned people, if a device can listen, it will listen. There's no such thing as passive listening. Listening is listening. Made a meme earlier today. I'd been thinking about it. I've had a rough couple weeks. I was thinking about stuff, and I came up with a meme. And everybody can, if you want this meme, go over to my page on my Facebook page and grab it. You get it. It'll come in handy for countless interactions online. I see. Here you go. It's for folks that are listening, maybe not paying attention. It's a mock-up potato chip bag. It says the bag is bag of Dix, and it says you clearly need to eat a bag of dicks. Yeah. So if you need that for any of your online interactions, you just run on over to my Facebook page. Yeah, Laurel says it's already saved on my photos to be used. Yeah. I figured number one, those who follow my content, they're like, yeah, that sounds like something that John would say. But there you go. Now you can say it as well. Use it as often as you need. And as time goes on, you'll be needing it more and more, it seems. What a world we're living in. What a world we are living in. I got a bit of a headache. I'm tired. I couldn't hardly talk this morning. As folks know, I've been running over to Vermont, taking care of property there. Class 4 hoarding situation. Not happy, not fun. I got a good bit of the 30-yard dumpster filled already. I'm doing it one more day, tomorrow, and that's it. What's gone is gone. Then if I need to take stuff, I'll take stuff, but whoever buys the property, they get it as is. It's no wonder there was health issues in that household. You fucking think? Jesus. Again, not happy. So I was over there all week except for Friday. Friday didn't go over there. Friday went someplace else. We'll get into that when folks come into the room. Come into the room. It's not on a room now. It's not on Facebook anymore. It's on YouTube. When folks show up to the show, we'll get into the adventures of the Whiskey Cowboy and Mrs. Cowboy, as folks so fondly call her. Oh, that is wonderful coffee. If you like chocolate covered strawberries, dark chocolate covered strawberries, oh my God, pick up yourself some chocolate covered strawberries. It's a dark roast. I usually don't do dark roasts, but this one works. It's a dark roast from Dunkin' Donuts brand coffee. Either buy it online or find it in your supermarket, but find it. If you like chocolate-covered strawberries, get this coffee. You will not be disappointed because it tastes exactly like popping a dark chocolate-covered strawberry in your mouth. It is absolutely wonderful. It is wunderbar. Sehr wunderbar. Where is everybody? I figured they'd show up. Laura, where are they? They've been chomping at the bit. It's been 10 days. 10 days. I noticed that when I was redating the show. 10 days since the last show. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Come on now. I know Judy's going to show up. She's always showing up. I don't know if Gus is there. Gus knows most of this. Yeah, Laura says, good question. They need to get their butts on over here. Yeah, I made sure that I let folks know that it's running tonight. Hell, even Orion asked me on the page, hey, you doing the show? Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the show. Unless they follow the link on the announcement. I don't think I'm going to do that again. I think I'll just do it like I'll do it. I normally just put up in the morning or noon time. Hey, there's Orion, that the show's going on. Don't set an appointment for it because then you have to put a link in there. Well, the link just goes to my page. It doesn't go to it goes to my channel. One of my YouTube channels. Folks, join the show. I have two YouTube channels. One is the Whiskey Cowboy -official. That's the one that you're on now. This is social and political stuff. If you want the other stuff, guitars, canoeing, car rides, whiskey, chickens, all the rest of the stuff, that's on the other channel. Haven't been able to get to it lately. I've been kind of busy. We'll get into that. But that's at the Whiskey Cowboy Life. The Whiskey Cowboy Life. Had George, well-intended. Most people are well-intended. Posted up on one of my messages. He just posted up tonight. It says, praying until your wife is totally well. Listen to the docs and take it easy. He's back slowly, and all will be well, is what he said. Oh, my goodness. I had to... This is how you tune in the show. He wants to know. There we go. He goes, no puns, but how do I don't do well with phones and computers. How do I tune into your show? I said, follow the link just posted on my Facebook page. Because like I said, listen to the docs, LOL. You may want to tune into tonight's show. Cheers. And then I added a note, and I'm going to say what the note is again, so people can get this in their head. At least 800,000 people in the United States every year die and or are permanently and seriously injured by the medical community, by misdiagnoses and treatment that isn't correct. They are the medical industry is the third largest killer of people in the United States. And nobody just goes, oh, whatever, just listen to your doctors. Don't listen to your doctors. When I say don't listen to your doctors, I mean don't take what they say as gospel, because they cause more harm than any of the bad things that people like to bitch about day in and day out. But people blindly following them. Listen to your doctors blindly. Obey your doctors blindly. It's like saying, trust the science. No, sorry. Because the medical industry has changed. The medical industry has changed. And I am going to lay out for you all some of the great horrors that are out there concerning the medical industry. Don't just listen to your doctor. Don't just listen to that cardiologist. Don't just listen to that psychiatrist. Use what's between your ears. You're going to save yourself a lot of problems. Let's see, who's all in here? I'd like to get this show rolling here. I'd like to get it rolling. And now let me say, I'm not saying that all doctors are bad. I'm not saying that there aren't very valid and useful medications out there and procedures out there. And there are. But you got to think. You got to use what's between your ears. Because not every patient is the same, even if they have the same base issue. So if they're not the same, why would you think treating that base issue would be the same for every patient? That's lazy, and that's dangerous. Right, they only practice medicine, says Laurel. Yeah. Doctors nowadays, and I've got other relatives in the medical industry. So I'm not unfamiliar with it. Plus, you all know my background. I'm not stupid. I know a few things. Go to doctors and trust doctors just long enough to save your life. If it's something you can't do yourself at the moment and you need it to live, that's what you see doctors for. Is it something that you can't stop the bleeding, you can't set the bone, you can't do this. You might have some major illness that needs immediate treatment. But after that, you better start using your brain. You better start using your brain. And like I said, we're about to find out why. Don't know if Don is going to show up. Don't know if Gus is going to show up. Judy needs to show up. I'd like to have Judy in before I start this whole story. Come on, folks. Hey, show up. Get on the show. Get on the show. Okay, I can't wait any longer. When they show up, they're going to get in midstream, and that's fine. They'll have to listen to the beginning. So okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready to hear the interesting going-ons at the Cowboys' place? Well, I'd been over at the other property all week and just cleaning and throwing and sorting and throwing. And the place is so bad that the missus, she doesn't want to use the bathroom. So because of that, she was limiting her water intake. So she didn't have to go to the bathroom. But thankfully, I didn't have her do much. Every once in a while, I'd bring something out. She sat outside most of the time, and I'd bring something out and say, "Can you wipe this down?" And she'd wipe it down. She'd put on her gloves, and get out the disinfectants, and she'd wipe it down. So that wasn't too bad. So we'd be there from the early morning to the mid-afternoon, come home, strip our clothes off, get in the shower, put on clean clothes, put all the laundry in the wash, get that taken care of, have dinner, and try to relax, go to sleep, start again the next day, get up, have some coffee. She'd fix some breakfast. We usually have call them Egg McMuffins. What the hell did we used to call Egg McMuffins before Egg McMuffins was a name? They're not. They're just a egg sausage and cheese patty. So that's what we had. I know it's got a name, but we always call them Egg McMuffins. So we'd either have that or breakfast burrito, get in the car, drive on out to Vermont. Halfway in the drive, because it's at least an hour and a half. Halfway into the drive, she'd hand me the breakfast, and I'd be eating, and we'd go. That's good car eating food. So get there, work all day again, you know the thing, and then go home. Well, Friday morning, 5 o'clock rolls around, and the missus has a heart attack. And she wakes me up, and she's like, "Hey, are you awake?" I'm like, "No." Yeah. And she goes, "I think I'm having a heart attack." And she's crying. So I'm like, "Okay, baby. What's going on?" So she tells me what's going on. Yeah, it sounds like she's having a heart attack. She's even having the world's worst panic attack, which could be. Or she's having a heart attack. Let me roll back one day. I forgot about this. If I can. She was sick Thursday. She had, 24-hour bug. Our youngest had it at the end of last week, I think. So she was sick. And the missus was sick Thursday. So it's all gonna come into play. So I'm like, okay, you're either having a panic attack or you're having a heart attack. We need to get this figured out. We got dressed, went downstairs, called 911. Said, "Hey, it appears my wife is having a heart attack. Here's the address, blah, 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 blah." They asked me questions. I gave them, it's typical stuff. So they send EMS. And they arrive at the house. I let them in. They do their thing, plug her up, do all their tests. Seemed kind of weird. They're like, there's something missing here. There's something missing here. Something doesn't seem right. Yeah, it is, but something isn't quite right. So it's like, yeah, it should be a heart attack, but there's something missing. So they didn't know. They didn't know what it was. But we won't be able to find out until of course you go and you have blood drawn and they do the blood workup. So into the ambulance she goes. I follow on in. Go into the emergency room. I'm sitting in the waiting room because I had to bring her into a room. Well, in the ambulance ride, they give her aspirin and they give her nitroglycerin. So by the time she gets to the hospital, most all the symptoms were gone. It's like, so aspirin and nitroglycerin took care of the problems. Yeah, it should be a heart attack. So they did some more tests on her. They drew the blood, analyzed the blood, got the blood work back. Yeah, she had a heart attack. So then they go, okay. By the time the blood work gets back, I'm with her in her room. And I said, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to shoot the dye up into her, check all of her arteries, and see where the blockage is, because it's like, okay, there must be a blockage. And then when we find the blockage, we're going to put the stent in. And then within a day or two, within a day or two, you should be able to go home. Okay, because they're pretty well versed in all of this. It's nothing new. Like, okay. So they run her down. They do the test. And nobody's talking. Can you all hear me still? And we got some more people in. Did Judy join? Are the regulars filtering in here? Go ahead and talk. I mean, just say something. I understand this is probably, a bit much for some of you folks, but bear with me. Okay. See, Laurel's there. See, when nobody talks, I don't know whether there's an issue going on. So every once in a while, I'll type up something so I know that you're all listening and it's getting out there. Okay. So they do the tests. And then the doctor calls me on the phone. It's like, is this Mr. Cowboy? Yes, it is. Hey, down here with your wife. Okay, Judy says, just got here. Good to see you. Okay, Judy. Yeah, you're coming in right after the first test in the hospital. The missus is in. For the rest, you'll have to go back and you'll have to listen to the show from the beginning, but you're fine from here. So, okay. So he's like, hey. And he sounded all happy. It's like, okay. Yeah, there's no blockage. She's clean as a whistle. This is what the doctors tell me. No problem. Don't need me for anything. This is a different doctor than that. This is a specialist that does all the tests and stuff. He's like, we don't, and he would have been there to put the stent in. And he's like, no, there's nothing. She's fine. There is no plaque buildup. There's no blockage. There's no nothing. She's good to go. It's like, well, that's good because that's one less medical procedures that she has to go to because there's always a risk with medical procedure. So it's like, okay, that's fine. So we're thinking, okay, well, she's fine, but she had a heart attack. The tests all show that she had a heart attack. The blood work showed that she had a heart attack. It's like, it's kind of weird. So we're sitting there. By this time, we're together. We're sitting there. And the first cardiologist comes back in. He goes, hey, you got the news. I'm paraphrasing. I'm like, hey, yeah. What the hell? And he goes, okay, this is what happened. Now, some of you may have heard about this before, know what it is, and others don't. So I'm going to explain what it is. It's got a technical name for it. I'm not going to I can't remember the technical name. The common colloquium for what she had is called broken heart syndrome. It's a heart attack, that only women, never men, only women that are middle-aged to elderly get. The medical community has no idea what causes it, but there are usually some common things. They call it broken heart syndrome because it usually happens when it happens after a death or a stressful event. Broken heart syndrome. So, like if a woman loses a child, or again middle-aged to elderly, loses a child or a husband or a brother or a mother, somebody like that, and it causes a lot of stress. Right, it's stress. Yeah, Judy, it's stress. But the thing is it's not preventable, and it's stuff that the person can have stress their whole life. It doesn't matter. So it's kind of this fluke. Yeah, stress brings it on. Another thing that helps bring it on is sometimes before the women have this, they get sick. It's like, oh, well, shit. So she's had a stressful week at the other place. Then she got sick the day before. Then she woke up in the morning, went to the bathroom, laid down in bed, boom, heart attack. So, the good news is there's nothing wrong with her. In other words, there is no other medical issue that would induce the heart attack or cause the heart attack. So that's the good news. She still had the heart attack, so her heart still got fucked up. It's now pumping at 30%. It's supposed to be pumping at 50. You can go 50-50. So she's more tired than she was before. We've been doing good. She can't have bed rest because you can't do that. After a heart attack, you can't just not do anything. You have to do things. You just have to watch yourself really carefully. You have to watch yourself really carefully. And then you have to make sure your heart heals. And that can take anywhere between several months to a year, sometimes longer, depending upon what it is. So, okay, we're through the first part. Now here comes just listen to your doctors. So, I don't fucking think so. I said, okay, we're going to keep her overnight for observation. And that's what I thought. Okay, for observation, that should be fine. She contacts me about 8 o'clock. I hadn't been home long. She contacts me. She goes, hey, things are great. And she listed off her blood pressure because her blood pressure had been all over the place. Well, of course, she just had a heart attack. And it was like, oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I'm like, great, baby. That's wonderful. Try to get some rest. See if there's something good on TV. If you need something, call me. Well, that's truncated. We did. It's like, so, unbeknownst to me, they had been starting to give her this cocktail of medication. Okay. Three medications. One medication is to reduce cholesterol. The next medication is to lower your blood pressure. And the third medication is a beta blocker and alpha something inhibitors. Whatever. It's late. I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. The third medication is to help the heart heal. It reduces bad things, and it keeps good things going to the parts of the heart that need to heal and get the blood to it and help it do its thing so that it's not hurt anymore. And you go, this sounds like it sounds pretty reasonable, right? Well, no, not reasonable. In fact, no, not reasonable at all. So I get in the morning, and she's supposed to be getting ready to go home. Because again, she didn't need surgery. She just needed to rest. So they were going to, 11 o'clock. It'll be fine. Well, no, they've been pumping her with these medications. And the one in question, it was the real ringer-dinger, was the blood pressure medication. Now, the blood pressure medication caused her blood pressure not to go lower. It caused it to go higher. And then what they did, instead of taking her off of the blood pressure medication, they doubled down on it. And they increased the dose. They doubled the dose. Guess what happened? Blood pressure went up even higher. Spiked through the roof. So then, we need to keep her here longer so we can monitor this, because we got to see whether or not it's gonna go down. Now that's been doing it all since the evening after we had talked. They'd been pumping her with this shit. So what would happen is the medicine would cause her blood pressure to spike. And then as it left her system, she'd have good blood pressure. Then they'd give her the medicine, and it'd cause it to spike until it left her system. Did this all freaking night. And now they were doing it in front of me. And I was like, if the goal is to have blood pressure lowered because somebody just had a heart attack, does it make any sense to put them on a medication that's causing their blood pressure to go through the roof? And of course, nobody has any answers. Because that's what the doctor prescribed. So that's what we're going to do. I said, I want you to make it make sense to me. Because it doesn't make any sense to me. And they made it seem as if the nurse, the floor nurse, made it seem as if this was just a temporary maybe fluke with the medication and she was having an adverse effect and it should just calm down. Well, as we find out later, for people that has this type of reaction to, it can take 4 days or more for their body to get used to the medicine. I mean, you might go, well, gee, if the person's only problem is they had high blood pressure, it's not really good to have high blood pressure for 4 or more days. But for somebody that just had a heart attack, that's insane. Well, the nurse started making other stupid comments. And see, now shit's going to get real. You're going to go, oh my God, here we go. Hold on, folks. And then she was saying things like, if you can leave. And Kim's like, no, I was told I was going to leave. I am going home. And the nurse goes, oh, you can leave. You can sign yourself out against medical advice. And then your insurance won't pay for any of this. But you can do anything you want. And I looked at her and I said, how the hell is that a choice? How is that you can do anything that you want? If she goes home, we're going to have to pay for all of this. Trust me, we're going to be paying for a lot of this shit anyways. Even with insurance, we're going to be paying a lot of this shit. But if we go home without them signing us out, we're going to have to pay for everything? Well, she kept making stupid comments. And one of the comments is she looks over at the missus and she goes, well, can your ride come back in 2 hours? Did you catch that? I'm fucking sitting right there. I'm her husband. I'm not a goddamn ride. And I looked at her and I said, her ride? I'm her husband. And I said, you know what? You got a problem between your brain and your mouth. You got a problem between your brain and your mouth. And that problem is you're not fucking thinking. I said, you need to stop and you need to think before you open up your mouth. He's like, oh, can I talk? Can I talk to the patient now? Remember I said about that brain thing, brain mouth, not thinking? Can I talk to the patient now? Oh, bitch. When you got the patient, when they are married or they are a parent, is not just the patient. You're dealing with the spouse or the parent. It's not just the patient. And to dismiss me like that is if I am nothing. I'm just the ride. Wrong fucking answer. Had a few more words. And she's like, I'm going to call security. Anybody knows John knows. There's two things you don't do. You don't say, I'm going to call the police or I'm going to call security. Okay. Okay. Call security. Go on. And as she was leaving the room, I said, and you make sure they send the biggest guy they got. I said, we'll see how this plays out. So security shows up. I listened to what she was saying. She was poisoning the well. She was laying it on thick, spinning the way she wanted to spin. Security steps in the doorway. Had a younger feller, older feller. Older feller was, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell, maybe around my age, maybe a little bit older, I don't know. Younger feller, older feller. Short, both of them. They step into the room and I laughed. It's like, man, you guys are going to need more than you. Two guys. Sort of like, the older fella's like, you need to come step out here. It's like, I don't need to step out anywhere. I said, no, I'd like to talk to you out in the hallway. Now, see, I'm a former police officer. I know how this shit works. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And I'm sitting on the couch with my back to the wall, well, to the window. Just my legs crossed, my arm out on the couch. I'm relaxed as can be. And I'm like, no. Said, but hey, you guys come on in here. We'll talk. See, because up to that point, I didn't have a problem with them. They were just the dogs that got jerked in. It's like, yeah, come on in here. We'll talk. So I tried to explain what happened. The older feller, he wasn't having none of it because he didn't care. All he cared about is he's going to get this guy out of the hospital. Why? Because Miss Nursey had her feelings hurt. And he's like, oh, yeah, you were raising your voice and you were getting agitated. I said, yeah, damn right I was. Yeah. Yeah? She said you were swearing. I said, no, swear, one. I said, fuck are a derivative of the word fuck once. Well, you can't do that. It's like, are we children? Are we children here? That somebody, that grown-ass adult, when it's dealing with him and his wife, his spouse, it was a wife together, wife and spouse, get agitated because you've got your head up your ass and you're going to hold them to some swearing is going to hurt your feelings. I said, no, what it was is this woman didn't like what I had to say to her. And because she didn't like what I had to say to her and how I said it, she's going to call muscle in to deal with it. Oh, we're not muscle. Yeah, you're not muscle? Then why are you security? Why are you here? I said, but I tell you what, you want me to leave, I'm not leaving. You try to make me leave, you're going to need more than what you got. And then the older guy's like, well, we'll just call the Concord police. Like, have at it. Have at it. So they leave the room. And I come back in a couple minutes later. He's like, I'd like you to just leave for an hour. I said, Nope. Because I know how that works too. If they get me outside, they'll just say, don't come back. Nope. You're going to have to remove my ass. I said, my wife's here. When my wife's here, I'm here. They leave again. I'd say about 5 minutes or so after that. Some other staff, some other employee from the hospital comes in. Discharge papers. You're being discharged. And he was nice about it. Yeah, you're being discharged. You can go home. Here's your papers. Fill it all out. Da, 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 da. You have any questions? Not off the top of my head. Okay. If there's any problems, call. Here's cardiology, and there's their number and stuff like that. And so I went over and I said, okay. And then I'd asked a few questions. He's like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's the way it is. It's like, okay. So we came home. Gonna call security. Let's dance. Let's figure out where the hell this is gonna go. This is gonna be fun. Hey, we're all at the hospital. I'm sure they have plenty of other beds. They're going to be occupied soon. And see, they're even lucky because I actually obeyed their no firearms policy. So I actually went in. I can't say clean as a whistle. I had other weapons, but I didn't have a firearm. You don't do this shit. So we get home, and then we start monitoring her stuff. She's not taking any of her medication. She's not taking her medication. So we're monitoring her. Now keep in mind, she monitors everything about her system multiple times throughout the day, and she keeps a log for it. Why? Because she used to be on a shit ton of medications, because it started out with one thing and then another and then another and then another. If you've been following my my page for a while, I think I made a post about it back earlier was it last year? I don't know. Congratulating her for getting off all medications. So it took her a year and a half to get off all medications. And then she's been doing fine, but she still monitors all the time. So we start looking at the medications because we get the list of it. Okay, this is what it's for, and this is what the hell's going on here. And we talked to cardiology, had called again, and was like, why did they prescribe these medications? Well, it's the standard. It's protocol. It's like, it's protocol. That's not good enough. Why are you on these medications? Why are they prescribing these medications? Nobody could give us any answers. So you'd think they'd get in touch with a doctor that prescribed them, but no call from him. Just 2, 3, 4 other offices all crossing, and then we make our appointment with our primary care physician. We're going to go see her Friday, and we'll talk over everything because we figured out we got it handled. And we told them what happened and that why she wasn't on these medications. Okay. Seemed logical. Everybody that we talked to thus far is like, yeah, seems logical. Yeah, well, these were what they prescribed to you, but your reasons for not. Hey, Donna, welcome to the show. The reasons for you not makes perfect sense. But you're going to have to talk to other people about that. So we get bouncing back and forth. And then cardiology calls up because the primary care physician told them. So another person talked. It's like, oh, Jesus. And none of them can give me any answers. Well, give you an idea. If you don't know, most hospitals now, the big ones, you as a patient, you can access your records online. So we accessed her records. We got the blood work, and we looked over the blood work. Cholesterol, below normal numbers. Blood, sugar levels, perfect. Right down the line. Either perfect or below what's normal. Below. Perfect. You'd think as you were looking at the blood work of, I don't know, a 20-year-old athlete Why? Because she monitors all the freaking time. She watches what she eats. She knows what her problems are. So while there are physical things that she's still dealing with, her blood is good. Her blood is good. She doesn't have high blood pressure. Again, remember, fastidious. Takes these notes. She even told the last cardiologist person that she spoke to, asked about, and so she just, there's her notebook. Boom. This is when I took it. This is my heart rate. This is my blood pressure. These are my stats. Boom, 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 up till present time. Right. Laurel says, right. Yeah, it's the pharmaceutical companies. That's right. And they push what they're told to fucking push. So we're like, okay, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you put somebody on cholesterol lowering medication when their cholesterol levels are fantastic? Doesn't make sense. Can't even be used as a prophylactic. I'm like, well, maybe the blood work's going to come back and some things are high and or close. Nothing close. Nothing close. And then you go, okay, so why are you prescribing cholesterol medicine? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so let's go blood pressure. Blood pressure? Blood pressure is fine, especially when she's home. When the medicine that you gave her is out of her system, her blood pressure is fine. So why fuck with it? It's already good. Leave it alone. Blood pressure medicine shouldn't be there. And the last one, which kind of makes sense, it's the one that helps the heart, was one of the most dangerous medicines that they could give somebody for that purpose. And it's known to cause kidney failure. And she's like, no, is there another way that we can do this without this medication? Okay. So again, we've done all the research. We did all the numbers. We saw the stuff. It's like none of this shit's making sense. And nobody sat down. Nobody sat down with us and went over all of this shit. We were just kicked out the door. And that's fine because you know what? We probably saved ourselves a lot of heartache and medical shit in the future. That's why I said, oh, trust your doctor. No, you don't. No, you fucking don't. Use your brain. Use your brain. But everybody that we talk to, especially, not everybody, some of them, once we start explaining, they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But a lot of them is like, if you dare question what the Almighty has said to do, you're somehow wrong or crazy or stupid. Whatever, you go on your way. Same thing with monitoring. He said, yeah, you got to keep monitoring. They made the next appointment for the cardiologist at the end of October. But we're supposed to monitor. I said, is this monitoring what's happening because of her heart? These are the bad symptoms that we should look out for. Or is it because of the medication? And one of the ladies says, oh, it could be both. I'm like, okay. But then the other one that made the appointment said, don't come in to calibrate your blood pressure machine. She got a wrist cuff thing. Don't bother coming in. We might not have you come in on Monday since you're not taking the medicine anyways. I'm like, okay, so it is the fucking medicine that you're monitoring. You're not monitoring the patient. You're monitoring the fucking medicine to make sure the medicine isn't doing something wrong, not what's happening with their body naturally. What the hell is that shit? So, you think this is it? It's not it. Remember I said you can access your medical records online? And we got the blood work? Yeah, well, we also saw the other paperwork. And in the charts, it said 60-some-odd-year-old woman, cheerful, blah, 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 blah. History of hypertension and high blood pressure, high cholesterol. On and on it went. It's like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? And then it goes, oh, I'll bet the cardiologist just read their bullshit that they fucking put down on paper and went off of that. Didn't even look at the blood tests. Just went and looked at that and said, okay, hypertension, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Yeah, okay, we need these medications. But if you'd sat down for 10 fucking minutes and talked to us about it all and asked us and verified the information instead of going off of what somebody lied on the charts, Remember I said 800,000 people dead or seriously injured for the rest of their fucking lives in the United States every goddamn year because of the medical industry, misdiagnoses and mistreatments. Yeah, just listen to your doctor. You fucking better not. You better not. Third leading cause of deaths in the United States a year. Again, that doesn't mean there isn't a place for it. Doesn't mean there aren't good doctors out there. But you had better use what's between your ears for more than to keep your hat off your eyeballs. Think about it. Use your brain. Question everything. If you're not sure, find out what the problem is. Find out what the treatment is. Find out what the end goals are, and find out whether or not the treatment causes more harm than potential good. Another humdinger in the discharge papers, not what we get, but what went in the file. Yeah, it said that they counseled us on dietary and lifestyle changes. What? Motherfuckers didn't talk about our life, didn't ask anything about our life, didn't ask anything about diets, didn't talk to us about a goddamn thing. Donna says, when you fill out the forms, they ask about family history. I think they automatically apply that to you. None of that shit was given on the forms, Donna. Wasn't on the forms. Making shit up out of thin air. I was there when they filled out the forms because they asked the questions and I was sitting right there. No, there was none of that shit applied to the missus. None of it. Didn't give all this family history of, all of this shit. No, that wasn't it at all because it wasn't the case. Her father may have had some heart issues, but she wasn't sure about what it was. But that doesn't just automatically go to the patient. That just helps them maybe diagnose something, point him in the right direction. But yeah, there was nothing. There was nothing. They're just making up shit. And lying on the medical forms. Lying. Oh, you counseled on diet and lifestyle changes. Really? Really? No. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. So the missus has been great. Oh, a little tired. Got the appointment on Friday. We'll talk to the doctor about that. Oh, that heart medicine, beta blockers and alpha fuck you inhibitors. I don't know what it's called. See, she was on one. She was like, oh, did all of her research. I said, I was on one of these back quite a few years ago. I did fine on it. Didn't cause any problem. Monitored the kidneys the whole night. Everything was fine. They could have asked us. I said, is there one that's better, less risk that she could do that accomplishes the same thing? No, didn't talk to us about a damn thing. We have since talked to cardiologists, and they're like, yeah, that sounds like something that should work out just fine. Freaking imagine that. But who's got the freaking medical degree here, huh? That's something. Doctors, lawyers, judges, politicians, whatever. They always think that the average person out there, oh, you don't know shit because you don't have these letters behind your name. Judy says, I'm so glad to hear she's doing better. Me too. Me too. Hell, I need somebody to make my sandwiches. It's a joke. That's a joke. It's a joke. No, it's not. But no, she's doing much better. Just tired. So again, she was pumping the other day. She's pumped about 30%. She needs to be pumping 50. But 30% is not unusual. She's not abnormally low for after having a heart attack. So it's like, oh yeah, everything's good, and she's feeling better, she's happier, she's doing great. Laurel says, once you start that shit, it's very hard to get off of them. So just don't start. Try to lower or get right. Yeah. Which, like I said, she got off a whole regimen of medicine. It took her a year and a half. She did it very slowly, fastidious in monitoring. Was that Worley? Is that how you pronounce that, Worley? Wow, you stuck to your guns and won. Yes, I'm the Whiskey Cowboy. Everybody needs to do that shit. Use your head. When something doesn't smell right, just don't don't just blindly go and just follow whatever anybody tells you. Especially when they haven't even proven themselves to you. I even tell people, if I tell you something, if it doesn't sound right, whatever, go look it up. Those who follow my content know I'm not gonna steer you wrong. If I don't know, I'll say I don't know. If I know, I'll tell you. I've earned that trust, but I still say, go ahead. Double check it. Do it. I don't take offense to it. Do it. You might find out some more shit. So, that's that. So Friday, we'll probably end up getting the that medicine that she took before. Right, Donna says that's what they expect. No questions. Right. Or the question, then they just throw the same thing. Oh, it's protocol. Okay, it's protocol. Fuck you, protocol. It has to make sense. Again, just because everybody has a heart attack doesn't mean that every patient is the same. And everything leading up to it is exactly the same. And especially in this case, this is a very rare, well, it's known, it's broken heart syndrome. They know about it, but they don't know what the hell causes it aside from stressful situation. But they don't know what the trigger is. It shouldn't happen, and it does happen. And there's no way to prevent it. So then all you have to do is treat the heart afterwards. That's it. That's the only... If you've got no other issue, just treat the heart. Well, he says, I guess you won't be returning to that. No. I'll tell you, Concord Hospital, Concord, New Hampshire. If there's any other location that you can go to for your problems, go to that other location. Because this isn't just an issue with us. We had this back when I was in my early 40s. I had what appeared to be, and some of you heard this before, same fucking hospital. Appeared to have a massive stroke. Scared the shit out of me because I knew what was happening. I couldn't remember phone numbers. I couldn't complete sentences. I couldn't walk. Tingling all through my fingers and feet. Slurred speech. Yeah, like I was having a fucking stroke. The missus calls the hospital. Yeah, sounds like he's having a stroke. Get him in here. So got me to the hospital, did all the tests. No, you're fine. There's no stroke. Couldn't figure out what the hell it was. Couldn't figure out what it was. Sent me home. 2 weeks later, we figured it out. Again, no PhDs. We did all the research. I was having a full-on migraine with aura. Basically, everything that a migraine can throw at you all at once. Mimics a stroke. Not fun. They should have known this shit. If all of this stuff doesn't happen, they're the medical people. If you're not having a stroke, what other things mimic a stroke? It's not rocket science, and we figured it out. We figured it out. Laurel says, my hubby saved my life in the hospital in 2019. He ripped into everyone and had every doctor that had seen me in the room in less than an hour. Yeah. Do not, it's like, Jesus, do not trust because somebody's wearing a freaking lab coat and it has doctor on their name tag. You do not become their property and do not blindly follow what they say. Don't do it. So that's where we are. That's where we are. Ta-da. So that was my fun experience from Friday until now. Now add on to that, I'm also been trying to clean out the other property. So after yesterday, I was like, holy shit, my throat's all screwed up. This morning, I sounded like a bullfrog talking. Couldn't hardly breathe very well, tightness. It's like, oh, man, again. So I didn't go over there. I didn't go over there today. So I'm going to take today off. Yeah, I don't have the dumpster for very long. Tomorrow is going to be my last day. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to hit the other sheds. And that's that. Whatever the hell is left is left. I'm going to take what I need to take, which isn't much. I think Mr. Gus is going to help me out there. He's got a truck and a trailer, and we're going to go on over there. We're going to, get some snow blowers and stuff, and just some stuff that I just can't. I got Zippy, Zippy's a little car. May take one trip, may take two, I don't know. And bring him on over. And then the property is sold. I've paid up the property taxes till next summer. So I'm hoping to get that property sold before next summer. And they're going to buy it as is. Because I'm not dealing with it. It's not worth my health. Not worth my health. Certainly wasn't worth the health of my wife. Tonight's coffee. Chocolate-covered strawberries from Dunkin' Donuts. Nummy num. Time for the shill. Anybody who likes my content, would like to help donate, to help keep things rolling along. And again, I got some medical bills coming up. There's links in the description. Single payment is fine. As much or as little as you are moved to give and can. Don't put yourself in any hardships. Or you can set up a monthly payment for as little as much as you like, can be canceled at any time. Again, as much as you're moved to and you can do. Don't put yourself in any hardships over it. If you'd like to help out in other ways, there's another link. You can follow the link in there. It'll take you to a page on Facebook, and I think it's got 7 or 8 different things that you can do. Most of them have nothing to do with money, but they all help me out. So you can do that. Laurel says, you and Mrs. need to stay out of that toxic environment. Sounds like you need a hazmat. Yes. Yeah, level 4. The house is a loss. The house is a loss. There was spiders and fleas and crap all over the place and dust and mold, and it's nasty. It's nasty. Donna says, if you sell it in less than a year, you will pay short-term capital gains. No, because I've owned it for years. I didn't get that property just because, I've owned that property for a long time. Yeah. So it wasn't given to me. It was not willed to me. It was my property. So yeah. So none of that went into probate. Yeah. That's not a probate issue. Yes, if it was willed to me, after probate's done, and then I sold it. Yeah, and that was the case. I'd probably have to pay taxes during the probate anyways. But no, I've owned the property for a long time. The only thing now is my father's not there. So I guess that's one good thing. As one good thing that came out of the whole mess. I mean, he had nothing else set up. I was going in blind. So yeah, just a general announcement. Anybody that wants to say anything good about the situation or anybody that happened to be living on that property, no, stop it. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is someplace you don't want to go. Not a can of worms you want to open up. And I'll just leave it at that. I try to do the right thing. Try to do the right thing from the moment I found out he passed away. I was paying electricity bills. I was paying internet. I was taking care of everything. I paid off all the bills. So yeah, let things rest. Get on with life. Let things rest. That's not something that you want to get into. Because remember, same thing. I'll call the police or security. let's dance. Let's dance. Wrong guy. Wrong guy. See, and other people, they go, gee, why does this shit happen to you all the time, John? It happens every once in a while, but here's what it's not because of me. It's because everybody else out there, they're not used to people standing up and calling hogwash for what it is. They're not used to people saying, hey, you're being a jackwagon, stop it. They're not used to people saying, you got a problem between your brain and your mouth, and that's that you're not thinking, and then it's just spilling out. Stop, think, then talk. They're not used to that. They're not used to other people being in charge of themselves and standing up for their own rights. And I'll tell you, I'll stand up for your rights too. I'll be right there with you. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Let's do it. But I sure as hell ain't going to give up my rights or sit back and let some jackwagon do something. Donna says comes with age. Yeah, well, yeah, I was the same way as I am right now when I was 19. So folks that served with me, they'll tell you the same thing. It's like, oh my God, John's the same way. That's the way he was. I was an anomaly back then. You know, here I am, it was like, about 19. I wasn't in E6, but I was in E6 position. Had my own team. I joined when I was 17. But yeah, I wasn't like most kids my age. Most people go through this arc and there's something different. So the same guy, if you met me when I was 19, 20, 21, you'd recognize me. I'm the same. Willie says, like this happens to everyone, but some of us won't put up with it. Right. That's why, like assholes, I tell them, why don't you say something about it? Why don't you at least get up in their face? Well, it's not worth it. Well, that's why they continue to be an asshole. And then when somebody stands up and says, no, I'm not going to put up with this shit, they look at you like you're crazy, like you're the problem. Well, nobody else had a problem. Why do you have a problem? No, because everybody else were fucking cowards, or they thought it was easier to just let shit roll. Yeah, John doesn't do that. John doesn't use that. Donna says, I used to get up with a bunch of bullshit. Not now, though. Yeah, I never did. Again, John's a different bird. John, you talk to people who know me, they'll tell you, yeah, John's a different bird. Yeah. And again, I'm just like people who meet me. They've watched me online. They followed my content. They know me up for years online, and they finally meet me. They're like, oh my God, you're just like you are. It's like, yeah, this is me. Ta-da. But yeah, I'll stand there. I'll give you the shirt off my back. Don't expect it. You expect it and it's mine. Fuck you. You're in need and I can help you, and you're truly in need, not want. Not because you just refuse to do shit, but you're truly in need and I can help you out, I'll do that. You start thinking that my shit's yours? No. Worley says, the real deal. Yeah, I am the way I am. The same thing with like, I'd rather be hated. I'd rather be hated for saying the truth than loved for lying. And I've got to live with myself. Oh, dark 30 in the morning, quiet. The only thing is maybe the fan and the crickets in the dark. Or the missus laying there too. But it's yourself. You have to live with yourself. Can you live with yourself? Sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I go too far. And I'll tell you, I'm really quick to apologize for it. Nobody ever has to ask me. You fucking tell me to apologize, you can kiss my ass. If I need to apologize for something, excuse me, rest assured, I'm going to apologize. If I don't apologize, none is needed. But here's another thing. I'll never ask you to apologize to me. I've never asked anyone to apologize to me. What I'd rather you do is fix yourself, take care of the problem, don't do it again. That's a good enough apology for me. I will never ask for an apology. Don't expect one. Don't want one. If you give it, fine, great. Because apologies don't mean shit. They're the easy way out. An apology is an easy way out. Change your life. Do better. Be a better person. Make better decisions. Show me that you're sorry. You're remorseful. And you're turning a page and you're being a better person. That's the best apology you can get. And you just sit back. It's not a power play. People use that shit as a power play. No. Again, I've told you the same thing about envy. I don't envy people. I don't envy the rich. I don't pity the poor. Because that's not how life works. I despise thieves, and I despise people who get shit dishonestly. I don't pity the poor. Some of the happiest people out there, if they're eating, they're healthy, and they're happy, sitting on a front porch with somebody that they love, all power to you. Praise God. I'm glad you found that. Because some of the richest people out there are miserable. Because all money is an amplifier. If you're miserable poor, you're going to be miserable with money. If you're bad with money when you're poor, you're going to be horrible with money when you have it. Right, Donna says, if it wasn't for the rich, people wouldn't have jobs. So stop it. You don't think so? Then you fucking put your money, time, and effort into building a business. And then tell me what you think the employees are entitled to tell you. And then want to treat you like shit. No. See, I don't play those games. I don't play those games. And neither should you. The world would be a better place. Start looking at people as people. What are you doing? Look, it's not that you're black that I have a problem with you. It's because you're a thug and you're acting and presenting yourself as a thug. And you know what? That white guy down the street doing the same thing, same fucking thing. Has nothing to do with your skin color. Has nothing to do with your age. Has to do with your actions. How are you presenting yourself? What are you actually doing? Other than that, hey, come on over. We'll have a drink. We'll sit down. We'll talk about things. Need some help? Let's get it done. Division. Divide people up. Play them against each other. I got folks that follow my content. I've said this before. I got Asians, blacks, whites, old, young, a lot more old, Rich people, poor people, Christians, non-Christians, gays. I'm going to give everybody a fair shake. It's the way I do things. It's who I am. We're not going to agree on everything. I said a lot of these problems are between you, your partner, and God. I'll give you advice and I'll say what I think about things. And then you have to make the right decision for yourself. As long as you're not forcing me and others to participate in it, you, your partner, God. I don't want division. I want unity again. Jesus. I bring this up time and time again. Our nation used to be filled with people of every political spectrum. Only the far fringes, not when I say far fringe, I mean the far fringes, were a problem. Most everybody else agreed about damn near everything except for a few issues. They were all patriotic. They all loved our country. They all wanted what's best for people. Then he just bickered about fiscal things and social things. But all the major reasons, major things, everybody agreed. Yes, and people pay too much attention to the media. They do. Except for me. I'm part of the media now. I got alternative media. I'm alternative media. The media, the mainstream media, lamestream media, is just the arm of the Democrat Party. And they benefit. The lamestream media benefits from the country burning. They don't benefit from beautiful skies, families together, playing in the park, throwing frisbee, playing horseshoes, going out to the range. They don't benefit from any of that shit. They benefit from riots, disorderly crap, crime, division, anger, hatred, malice. So what are they going to push? Laurel says, you're the voice of wisdom and experience. Well, I'm a voice. I'm a voice. I just say it as it is. I say how I see things. I try to be logical. I try to be fair. And I try to be truthful. And if that helps people, great. If it doesn't, they're fucking idiots. Just oh. They're like, oh man, I've missed the show. John's at it again. It's like, yeah, it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to Orca now. Am I gonna burn my mouth? Any bets on that? No, just long enough where it's nice and hot, nice and warm, but not too hot. Oh my goodness. Judy says, I've missed it. Glad you're here. Well, thank you. I had people, and thank you, the folks that have sent in messages. I had some people that are like, John, stop it. Just take a break, take a vacation. It's like, no. It's hard enough to fight. I am getting throttled like hell on Facebook. It's hard enough. If I just stop content and the membership drops off, that it's an uphill battle. So I just have to keep going. And I knew folks wanted the show, and that's good enough. And if it's possible to do it again, had a headache, tired, everything that's going, but it's been 10 days. Let's get the show on. So here it is. You're hearing me bitch about shit. But if people learn something from it, if it inspires them, there's other people that have, not mentioning any names, there's other people that has inspired them to take some different looks at certain things in their lives. Good. I'm not telling you what to do. This is what we did. This is what I do. You decide for yourself. Oh, I wrote up about the TAM. For those folks that are unfamiliar, TAM is a Scottish beret. It's not a beret, but and they come in two different types: an actual beret and then a I forget whatever. It's the one that my father had. Judy says, "Thank you for all you do. I always do learn something new." Fantastic. So yeah, I put it on my head. I needed washing. I washed it. I hand washed it. Excuse me. I put it on my head the other day, and I took a picture. And let's see here. Let's see here. That's what we got here. Here we go. There it is. And that's how I started my morning the other day. Like, y'all have a better day and week than I'm having. Okay, so that's the TAM. It's got a ball on the top. I'll show you here. Here's another picture of it. Here's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. You can see the tails in the back, and it's got the pom-pom on the top, and it's this is called it's called checkered. What the hell is it? Let's see. I'll get the exact word for it. This is called a Balmoral diced. And now a Balmoral TAM is right there. Is think of a standard TAM, more of a what the hell are they? I just said what it was. The beret. Think of a beret, but nicer, better materials, better construction, a little bit different dimensions. Were the colors you posted your family crest? Oh, you're talking the colors. I think you mean tartans. Is this right here, right? That's my father's kilt. That's not our. My family does not have a tartan. Okay, now let me explain that. Most Scottish families do not have tartans. They'll go, "That's my tartan." No. What it is the clan has a tartan, and your family name is either the clan name or it's not. Okay, so it's either the clan name or it's not. Most people's name is not the clan name, because a clan is just a bunch of people. Like a community will be a clan. Usually, you'll have one clan per community, just for rough thing, in a lot of different families. So you marry within your clan, but you're not marrying your cousin. You're just marrying it's like a unit. It's your club. It's your clan. So no, this is not my family tartan, because my family doesn't have one. Now, here's another thing. You can actually have a tartan made for your family or your organization or what have you. They'll design one for you, and they'll go through all the colors and the way everything is put together so that you're not stepping on other toes and that it has actual meanings, because the colors have meanings. What this one is right here, this is Black Watch, which you're viewing now. They've got I think Brown Watch, Black Watch. They got a couple watches, and Black Watch is. That's how I explain it. It's the blue jeans of tartans. Anybody can wear it. You don't even have to be Scottish. You can wear it. You're not stepping on any toes. You see Black Watch a lot in parades and different things like that, and it's because it's a blue jeans. It's a blue jeans of tartans. And this is standard black wash. They've got a faded black wash. They've got a historical black wash. The old school is a little bit different. The ratios of colors is different. This right here is a sporin. Think of it as it's a fanny pack, but not worn on the fanny. It's worn in front. Not too low. Think of it's where your belt line is. The top of the sporin right here should be about where your belt line or just below, so that when you sit down, it shouldn't move much. This particular one, sporins come in different types. You've got a day sporin, you've got a dress sporin. A dress sporin is oval. This is an oval. Look, it's like a D sideways. Dress is oval, so it comes up like this. This part is different on some. This right here is what you would call a semi-formal. In other words, you can do this. It's not a day sporin. A day sporin is not really fancy. Think of this, but even less fancy. It's simpler. If you look at it, it's simpler. Then you've got this, which is a semi-formal, and it opens up. Then you've got the formal, which is rounded at the top, so it's like an oval instead of a D. And then you've got hunter. Now, hunters are pretty cool. Hunters look like a formal in shape because it's kind of oval, but instead of having these tassels on it right here, and some have chains with here. This is a fairly simple one. But instead of having these tassels on them, they called leaves. So they look sort of like a tassel, but not so much material and coming down to a point, and they're fixed to the sporin itself. They don't flop around. Well, you don't want things flopping around making noise when you're out hunting. It's a hunter sporin. Now, a hunter sporin can also be used in a daytime as a day sporin. It can also be used, depending upon how fancy it is, because they do get fancy, can be a semi-formal sporin. Then you've got these different types of leather, and some are even fur covered. You've probably seen those. And then they have what I call the ZZ Top sporins. You've probably seen them with either police units, fire units, fife and drum corps and stuff like that, where they're furry, but the fur goes really long, and they've got really long tassels. So I call them the ZZ Top sporin. Those are duty or service sporins. They're usually just used for ceremonial purposes because they're like big and furry. This right over here is a ski-in-do, pronounced all sorts of different ways. Ski-in-do, skin-do. It's basically a short dagger, one-sided blade. See one side up here. The sheath for it does not have any fastening points, so you can't put it on your belt. What it is, it's to be tucked into the right sock. And they don't call them socks, they call them hose. But it's a sock. It's a long sock. It goes damn near to your knee. It's tucked into the top of your sock. And it's a self-defense weapon. It's also ceremonial. In Scottish weddings, a lot of times they will give all of the groom and the groomsmen and stuff like that, all the males in the party, they'll be awarded a skin-do. You can get them, if you go online, you can get them there anywhere from $30 on up to $300-$400. It just depends upon what materials are used in the handle, whether they've got gold or silver in the various parts, and yeah. But yeah, that's what you're looking at there. So no, it's not my family tartan. That is the blue jeans of tartans. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to try to dig in even more to really narrow it down to what clan the family owed its allegiance to. I know where they came from. I know what part of Scotland they were in. They were in southern Scotland. It was primarily a coastal community. So I'd need to figure out exactly who the leading clans in that area was, and then I'll probably go in and have fitted a kilt for me. I can't wear this kilt. My dad's like 5'5". I'm 6'4". No, it's too short. The kilt should come. If you look at kilts should come to the lower part of your kneecap, if not just a tad bit lower. And then your hose, your socks, should come up damn near to your knee. So really you're looking, you don't see really skin when guys are wearing their kilts, because the socks and the kilt come damn near to the same spot. You maybe see a little bit of a knee, maybe. Also, kilts are new. They're historically new. So this is a modern kilt, relatively modern kilt. And it's like Braveheart. We talked about that on the show before. Braveheart didn't wear a kilt. Kilts weren't invented for another couple hundred years. They weren't a thing. Kilts are relatively new. So, hey, welcome back, Orion. So yeah, if you had any other questions, you can ask me. That's fine. I tried to cover everything that everybody could see in the picture. I had already covered the tam before, and that tam can be used day, semi-formal, and formal. There is no distinction with that particular style because it's dang pretty, and the cap badge on it is, like I said, it's very unique. It's very unique. I'll show you again. I'll bring that back up. You look at the cap badge right there. And you see it's got the field of red behind it. Most of them don't. Most of the cap badges are bigger. They cover more of this area here. This is relatively small for a cap badge. And you see through it. So it will be black where it's red in the middle, where the deer is. Excuse me. Let's see if I can get we'll get the other picture. There we go. This is bigger. So see where you see the deer and you see the red behind it. I just love that because it matches with the red checkering, which normally it wouldn't have. So when I retire this, as well as my father's kilt, they're going to go in a special container. I'm going to move this badge over to my new tam that's coming in. And if folks missed it, that's an interesting story about the tam. I've been searching for one. I'm like, yeah, that's, as you can see, that's my father's is well worn. It's well worn. It's like it's time to retire it. Let's see if I can replace it. Let's see if I can get one for myself. Just for me. All the places I contacted, you can buy them on eBay for $30. They're not made in Scotland. I don't care that you're not buying a $30 tam made in Scotland. And I'll tell you why. But we'll get to that. So I went and all the stores were sold out of them. They're like, oh man, I can't get them. There's a reason why they're sold out of them. It's like, man, I gotta get one. I think there's a Canadian store that still has some. Another place you might want to check is a place that I finally found one, and I sent them. It was let's see here. It was House of Tartan. And it's on my page, and I gave a link to it. The House of Tartan, and they're in Scotland. And I didn't want a Chinese tam. It looks the same. No, I want it from Scotland. Like I said, I'm having a hell of a time finding one. It's like, oh, come on. They're all sold out. And they cost out the ass. I was lucky. The price quoted for this one just blew me away. I'm like, whoa. Because I was looking at them, they're like, and I'll tell you why. But you're looking at a couple $100 or more for one of these, genuine from Scotland. I was like, oh shit. With all the other bills I've got, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. I got out with shipping at about $118 with shipping. It's like, oh, it's a lot for a hat. I mean, my Stetson costs more than that, but it's a lot for a hat. More so given all the other shit I've been having to pay for. But this is the story behind it. I told them, I said, look, I'm looking for this. I think it's this type of hat. And I sent him a picture. And I said, but it might be a beret, but I'm not sure because the pictures are conflicting. I said, I don't know. And he sent me back a picture. Now, this has been going on for 2 days, getting this sorted out with the guys over in Scotland. Well, it's a big time difference. And it's like, okay, measure your head. So I measure my head. And he's like, okay. And I told him, I said, this is to replace the one that used to be my father's. But I probably can't buy it now because they're expensive. All the prices that I'd seen, they're just like, I can't justify it. So he went and he's like, what size your head? So I got he's like, well, hey, hey, I got one. I got one right here. It was only 1/10 off. Not price, but size-wise. It's only 1/10 off. It's like, oh, it's fucking perfect. Fucking perfect. I said, okay, now the hard part. How much it cost? He's like, so this is what it costs, and this is what it is for the shipping. Like I said, it came to total after exchange rate. It's $118. He says, but don't worry about it. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to set it aside for you. And when you can pay for it, you let us know and we'll ship it to you. I was like, there's no way I would even ask that. I wouldn't ask that in normal situations. Now I'll tell you what the specialty is. Those who read my write-up already know. Those who haven't, here's the thing. The last manufacturer in Scotland that makes these hats stopped producing them in January of this year. They shut down production. That's why you couldn't get them anywhere. They're getting sold out and they're not being made again. I have coming to me one of the last at this stage, one of the last TAMs actually made in Scotland. And I got it for a lot better price. And I did not ask him to set it aside. I didn't even realize why I couldn't get them anyplace. So for the fact that he said, without being prompted, I'll set this aside and you can do it. The missus and I damn near teared up. And she looks at me and she goes, you know what? Get it. So I roll back and I'm like, dude, let's do it. So it's on its way. Now, that said, they're trying to take donations. That's the House of Tartan in Scotland. Again, the link's on my page. They're trying to get enough money so that they can start up a line again and get these hats made in Scotland again. And they said they're not having a good. It's very slow. They're not doing very well. Well, I understand why. But what I would urge you all to do, even if you don't give any money, go to their website, the link's there, and you send them an email and say, hey, the Cowboy said, send me to the site. We appreciate what you're doing. Because it means the world to me. And that's that. Oh, and the company that just stopped their production line, they had been making them for I think it was 1842, 1842 or 1845, something like that. Just shy of 1850 is when they started making them there. And they just shut it down. Unfortunately, I could not verify whether or not my father's Tam was made by the same company, because there's no labels inside anymore. Like I said, very well worn, very well worn. So I don't know. So I have no idea. But what I do know is it's going to be the same. It's going to be genuine. It's the same one, from Scotland. Transfer the badge over to mine. And as it stands right now, one of the last ones from Scotland. Excuse me. So you can't say I don't live an interesting and an exciting life. Yeah, Drew said that's awesome. It is. It is. Again, it's like, damn, what more? I can't. I'm not made of money. I'm really not. People are like, oh man, he's rich. I'm not rich. I'm not rich. We don't live extravagant. We don't live extravagantly. We don't spend our money frivolously. This year has been, oh my God. Worley says, this Tam is the most gracious kindness to have come out of your hassle with property. Yeah, one of. There's a couple other, but one of. It's like I'm trying to find a nugget of gold in a mountain of triceratops shit, from like Jurassic Park, when he's like, oh, that's a big pile of shit. Yeah. It's I take the joy and the goodness where it is. Hey, here's a treat for you. I posted this up. This is my father wearing the same Tam, but he's got a different badge on the cap than what's on it now. But the badge that's on it now is the one he's had on the longest, and it has family significance. I say, oh well, stag is neck and neck, first and second most popular theme for Scottish stuff. Yes, you're right. But for some families, it's got a deeper meaning. And it's the case with mine. Not going to get into it. Those who know. It's pretty cool. Those who don't know, you don't need to know except for, oh, it's pretty cool. But here's a picture of my father wearing this exact same Tam. Good bit younger than I am now. He was a good bit younger. There it is. He is the one. There we go. So we can go bigger. There we go. He's right here. He's the one in the middle. Yeah, he's the one in the middle. Like I said, I'm 6'4". He's 5'6" ish, 5'6", something like that. I'd say his kilt is. If you look at the kilt lengths of the guys that he's with him, my father's wearing his just a tad bit short. Fancy hose. Oh yeah, the guys on the right and left. Yeah. And my father's got just gray hose with these are, I think these are his moccasins. Those are his moccasins. And that right there is a brown bess that he's carrying. Land pattern long musket, brown bess. The AR-15 of the day. His buckskin jacket, his kilt, but like I said, a little bit, I see a little bit of knee there, but you don't see the knees on the other guys. See, they're wearing theirs more traditional. He's a little bit risque right there. But yeah, that's him wearing the Tam. Again, good bit younger than me. I think he's got to be, oh shit, I'll bet she's half my age, if in that picture. These right here were enactors for probably the Scottish Highland Regiment, which still exists today. Scottish have their regiments and their units within the British Army. And this right here is hanging above my dining room doorway. I'll show folks that at some point. So that is that. Yeah. So, what's been happening in your neck of the woods? Oh. Yeah, Gus and Sally wanted to come over. It was Sunday or Monday. Sunday? I don't know, Sunday or Monday. They want to come over. It's like I can't do it. The house. I just cleaned out. I've been cleaning out one hoarder house, and I've got stuff stacked here. It's not. I've seen a lot worse, but it's not. We're it's like, no, we weren't ready for company. So we said soon. It's like, we're not coming to see the house. We're coming to see you. It's like, yeah, but yeah. So soon. Gus is a good egg. Hey, there's Gus. Says, good evening. We just popped in to check up on. Yeah, and now I'm just, speak of the devil. Oh my God. Did I say his name 3 times? What the hell? I try to pace myself. No, just say his name twice. You say it 3 times, he's going to pop up. Oh. Yeah. Gus and Sally. Hello, Sally. Hello, Gus. You missed the whole show. I don't even know what time it is. It's 9:48. 9:48. Gus has a good heart. Yeah, Gus is a good guy. Who the hell is Worley? Have you been on the show before, Worley? Are you somebody that follows the content? See, people have different names on different platforms and stuff. Do I? Oh, you're Connie. Oh, fuck, Connie. Our favorite beaner. Hey, there you go, Connie. Damn, you should have. See, because yes, I see it now. See, it's your face is like a dot on my screen. Yeah, I know. There is no other Connie. There's just Connie. Shit. Yeah, I would have. Now I recognize the face, but. Gus says you clicked your heels and you appeared. No. But, Connie. How you doing, Connie? You feeling better? How's the hubby? Hey, did you get a new employee down in Arizona? Same shit, different day. Yeah. I wish I could. Hey, same shit, different day would be great for me about now. But let's roll the clock back, middle of last month. That would have been great. I don't want the same shit, different day now. We just get past this crap. But, I hope things are progressing better for you. Yeah, did you get a new employee down there at in Arizona? It's all quiet. It's like, no. Oh, Utah. Why do I keep thinking Arizona? You forgive me. Got me some slack on that one. Utah airport. That's good. That's good. Good job. I hope this guy stays around. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, our favorite beaner. I didn't. I'm gonna have to remember that. Yeah, because you told me that you'd make the show tonight. You told me you'd make the show. Didn't again. That's now that I know it's you. Yeah, I see. Yes, but other than that, no. Oh, our kids are in Arizona. We're waiting for. So okay, so Arizona was in the picture. Okay, I haven't lost it totally, so I wasn't that far off. I hope you get one. Yeah, I got my going for winter beard now. It's getting into fall. I can go a little bit longer. Hope folks don't mind. The proportions are still fine. Sometimes if it gets too blocky, I can't do it. Gus says it's late. It is. Oh. Is it tired? Headache? I was not going to not do the show. It's like it's been 10 days. The missus is like, oh, you don't have to do it. And again, some of the other folks have been sending me messages. It's like, yeah. All right. Elliot says our new instructor will be here this week. Fantastic. Hope he works out. Hope he works out. Okay, did I miss anything? I don't think whether I missed anything for this show. Didn't get into too much politics. Boy, I've been stocking up on that. But I haven't dug in. I'm usually dug in on most of the issues. I've been kind of out of it. I try to do peripheral stuff and still put out some content for folks. But that should be cleared up here in the hopefully next week, things will be about normal. Connie says, I'm so glad you're on the air tonight. Well, thank you. I know some folks were itching. It's like, oh, they're having John withdrawals. Yeah. Plus, I get to talk to other people. Gus is like, yeah, stop fucking calling me. Like, yeah, called Gus quite a bit in the last few days, keeping him updated on the horse shit. Like, oh my God. So yeah, don't say, just listen to the doctors. Fuck you. It gives me, look, you all know me. I don't do things. I don't go half cocked. I make sure my shit's straight. So if I'm asking questions, there's a reason to ask questions, and nobody's used to anybody asking questions. And then coming up with the answers, it's like we've already got the answers. Gus says my ears and door is always open. Well, zip it back up. Barn door's open. Oh man. Oh, like I don't know if you heard it. I told folks, it just said you and Sally want to come over and visit, and my place ain't. It's not a hoarder house, but it's just not. I've got some things stacked up in places I don't need them. It needs to be decluttered and things put away, and it's like, oh. Connie says, but I'm going to see now. I can say Connie instead of Worley. Connie says I'm going to cut short this evening. I have a visit with cardiologist first thing. Thanks for the comment, for the cautionary tale. Oh, you're welcome. Hey, and by any means, if you got any questions, go ahead and shoot me off. shoot me off a message there, Connie, and I'll tell you what I think. No medical advice. I'll let you know what I think about things. But yeah, just Gus says I didn't say that. No, I said that. You said we're not coming over to see the house. We're coming over to see the missus. I said, I know that, but we're not. We weren't comfortable with a house looking like this and having company. Connie says, will do. You better. You better. Yep. But yeah, don't just blindly follow where people are pointing you. Except for me. It's like, no, I'm not going to go where you're pointing. It's if he's running, run. Because John never runs. Hey, good night, Connie. Thanks for stopping in. God, I wish I'd made the name connection sooner. Oh, Gus says you were talking about the barn door. Oh. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, I'll be up in the morning. Last day over there this week. I'm going to call up the dumpster company tomorrow and say, hey, come pick the shit up on Friday. Or Saturday, I don't care. Then we've got the primary care physician appointment for the missus on Friday. So we'll get that straightened out. This is the medication we think. Cardiologist said it was a good match, so go ahead and then we'll get her started on it, more than likely. The other medication, no, there's no need for it. Yeah, it was good to have Connie stop in. I wish I'd known it. I wish I had made the connection. Again, now I see the little icon. It's teeny. It's teeny. It's smaller than, think of a pencil eraser. It's smaller than that, but it's damn near 2 feet away from me. So I just see it's something there, and then there's a name. I'd have given her shit if I didn't know it was her earlier. But yeah, it was good to have her stop in. It's good to have her stop in. But yes, no, I'm not gonna get capital gains taxes from selling the house. They'll tax me when I sell it, but not any extras from it. They're not, because yeah, the house and property's been mine for quite some time. We don't have any probate issues. We got one. I've taken care of all the bills, except for maybe the car. And they were stupid. They come and collect. They come and collect as a SUV. And then they were going to come up with something. And let us know. They're supposed to auction it off, and then if there's any extra, they'd let us know or whatever. If anything's owed. Of course, the estate has to pay that. I'm not the estate. The estate pays that. The estate's only one bank account. And that's sitting there. It's going to go through probate. But they send a certified letter to the house. It's like nobody's living there. It's like you got to go to the post office because nobody's here to sign for it. They ended up sending it back because it missed 2 cycles. But it's like, yeah, you're stupid. You're sending a certified letter to a house of a dead man that he doesn't live there anymore. It's like, man, stop it. Oh, goodness. It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, you missed some good stuff there, Gus. You know about damn near everything involved with the missus and everything, but I had some other shit that I was talking about. So, yeah. It was good that you stopped in. Still a smaller crowd than I'd like. We need to get more people back over here. I think Orion, we go to sleep. Orion, go to sleep. Yipper skipper. But, yeah. I think we're about all caught up. It's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Oh, Orion's still there. Hey, there you go. Well, I'm going to be closing it down. Like I said, pretty tired. Rough couple weeks. Had to get the show in. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening to the drama and the saga. Hopefully this will be the worst of things. Things will get better from it. It's like, yeah, we started out this year like, man, this is going to be our year. Everything's going to start taking off. And it's like, it's no, going the wrong way. It's like, no, turn the other way. Turn the other way. Yeah, we'll get it taken care of. Anybody else have any questions before we shut down? I need to get back out on the water. I've been out on the water for like 2 months. Jesus. Drew says, good night. Thank you. It's going to get better. Yes, it has to. Laurel says, good night, John and everyone. Here's to better days ahead. Yeah. I haven't even been able to drink whiskey. I had one drink, well, a couple drinks the other night, and it's been a week since the last one. Like, crap almighty. It was good chatting with you. You're all up to date. We're fine. Again, folks are listening in. If you would like to help donate to the cause, help keep things going, there's links in the description. You can read it all yourself. Also, like, subscribe, share the content. Come back at some point and just type something in the comment section. You're chatting with me is fine, but the algorithms need stuff in the comment section, because folks are going to be watching this later, and it helps spread it out there. And see you online. Again, even though I'm going to be out of state, I try to throw some other stuff up there for you tomorrow. I'm going to get as much done as I can, and then come home, and then we'll go on from there. All right. Nobody's asked me any questions. I've been dragging feet, lollygagging, saying if anybody had any questions. They didn't have any questions. So try to hang in there. Be kind. Be truthful. Be honest. Be truly helpful. And I will see you later. God bless and take care.